When Conor McGregor first arrived in the UFC, fans knew he was destined for great things. McGregor said as much himself, setting his sights on the title and 60 G's of bonus money right from the start. Less than 3 years after his debut, 10 months of which were spent recovering from an ACL injury, McGregor beat Jose Aldo to take the featherweight title, knocking out the only featherweight champion in UFC history in just 13 seconds. But McGregor's aspirations exceed those of even his most die-hard fans. Almost immediately after the win, the Notorious announced his intentions to pursue the lightweight title as well, and the welterweight title after that. The latter may come even sooner than expected. When lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos was forced to withdraw from his bout with McGregor at UFC 196, Stockton's own Nate Diaz quickly stepped up to replace him on one condition. With little time to prepare, Diaz insisted that the bout take place above the lightweight limit. McGregor's response? He upped the ante and offered to fight him at the full welterweight limit of 170 pounds. Perhaps it shouldn't surprise us that McGregor was all too happy to accept. Now competing at a limit 35 pounds over that of featherweight where he holds his belt, there are whispers that McGregor could be battling welterweight champion Robbie Lawler before year's end. The crazy part? It's a fight he could very well win. Two division champions are rare in MMA, to say the least. In the history of the UFC, only Randy Couture, Vitor Belfort, and BJ Penn have held titles at two different weights, and not one of those men did so concurrently. To find a match for McGregor's titanic aspirations, you'd have to look outside the UFC, and even outside the young sport of MMA. In 1903, boxer Bob Fitzsimmons became the first man to claim world championships at three different weights when he bested George Gardner to earn the newly minted light heavyweight crown. There are echoes of Fitzsimmons in McGregor. Like the Notorious, Ruby Robert was of Irish descent. Freckled and red-haired, Fitzsimmons was regarded as a frighteningly powerful puncher, known for knocking out men much larger than himself. At the end of his career, Fitzsimmons had compiled a record of 68 wins with 59 KOs. Fitzsimmons was a tall man with long legs and arms, heavily muscled in the back and chest from years of blacksmithing. Before his own fighting career, McGregor was a plumber, not a blacksmith, but his build is much the same, and his reputation for power is no less impressive. In 21 fights, McGregor has sent 81% of his opponents to the ground, often with a single, thunderous blow. In the world of combat sports, multiple weight champions are the kings of kings. No accomplishment is more impressive, and holding 2 or 3 titles at once would quickly establish McGregor as one of the greatest fighters to ever compete in mixed martial arts. The name Notorious fits McGregor's brash persona and his bombastic fighting style, but if the Dublin Destroyer can hold 2 or more titles concurrently, he might consider a change of name. Notorious now, legendary tomorrow.